cold here today. I'm going to share the temps with you very, very soon. I'm going to take you inside the old church and we're going to fire up that Pacific Energy wood stove. Good morning, folks. Mr. Garry now back with you for my usual TGIF Friday video here at GBL, the old church, 5-acre homestead. I'm actually out in my new barn today, sitting next to my electric log splitter, and that large pile of black spruce I had delivered a couple of days ago. And if you're into firewood and you're into lighting up wood stoves and all that kind of stuff on a very, very cold Friday morning, then join Mr. Garry for the remainder of this video. I am here in my new barn, folks, and I'm standing, as I said earlier, just in front of my electric log splitter. This is a Yardworks. I'll get down and show you some of the specs on this. This is a 1 3/4 horsepower Yardworks electric log splitter. It's 120 volt, 15 amp, 60 hertz. So it's a nice log splitter. I've had this log splitter now for a dozen years or more, I'd say. I've had it a long, long time. For the last 2 years, it's been sitting outside, covered up in a tarp, out behind the old church. And so I brought it inside. I brought it inside the new barn there yesterday, and I plugged it all in and got it all fired up. But the motor worked, but the ram wouldn't move on the top part of the splitter, and it wouldn't split any of these logs. So I worked with it. I got at it. I used some 3-in-1 oil. This stuff right here, folks. This is a godsend. I like that stuff. That's pretty good. That's better than a rival brand that you might know of. 3-in-1 oil. So I sprayed it in a few places, but in most particular, I sprayed it where my finger is pointing, right there, and that was seized solid. But as you can see right now, it goes in and comes out pretty easily. I'm going to spray another little bit there actually this morning, because my son Devin and I, we have to come out here and we had to do some log splitting today. So I'm going to put a nice liberal amount in there now and let that sit for the next hour or so, because I have to go inside and I have to get that Pacific Energy wood stove all fired up and get the old church warmed up today. It's quite cold. I said earlier that it was a cold morning and the temps were low. The temp right now here is only 10 degrees Celsius, and that's the same as 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is a cold day. It is a wood stove fire up kind of day. So I'm going to take those two totes that I have right there, one full of kindling and stuff, and the other one is a bit of mixed wood. I picked a few dry turns of wood out of that pile and a few nubs or nooks, whatever you want to call them. So I'll get those two inside, and I may have to come out a couple of more times during the day and get a few more pieces of wood out of that pile. And once I start splitting some, I'll cart some of the split wood inside as well to get us through today. So that's my task for the rest of this day, folks. So join me now inside the old church. So I am now inside the old church, folks, getting ready to light this Pacific Energy wood stove. And I do have all of my supplies that I brought in from the new barn. I have a container here, a tote, with some old crumpled up grocery store flyers. I have some kindling there, some small pieces of wood from various projects that I've done this summer. I have a piece of cardboard. I have a larger tote, or fish pan, we call them, full of those chunked up pieces of black spruce that I had delivered just a couple of days ago. So we are in fact going to fire up this Pacific Energy in the rest of this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so to begin, I'm just going to open the door here now, and I'm going to get some of that grocery store flyers. You see right here. I'm just open it up, and I'm just going to turn it into a ball. I'm just going to put that in the center of the firebox for this stove. I got some more here, and I'll put that next to it. Like that in the center. I've got some cardboard, and I just rip that into long lengths. And I'm gonna make like a teepee in the center of this firebox, putting the cardboard around the grocery store flyers, just like that. Okay, now the next step is to get some of this small kindling and do the same kind of thing. Continue making a teepee kind of shape. If some of the pieces are long, you can break them in half, snap them in half if they're fairly dry. Okay, so there you go. Now, just a couple of more pieces, I think. And we should be able to start up this stove fairly easily. Okay. Now, I've got another extra piece of cardboard there, should I need it. And I still have some more newspaper there, our grocery store paper. Now, I'm gonna just reach in. I'm using Sea Dog matches today, folks, to light this fire. Oh, okay, that one was a dud. Let's try another one. All right, we got one. All right, so now what I'm gonna do with this match is I'm gonna put it in a couple of places, and I'm going to light the paper, the flyer paper. There we go. Now that should not take very long to light. Put a piece of cardboard there now in front of that. I'll save that piece for another time. Now I'm going to add a little bit more wood to my teepee. You can already hear the crackling, hey. So this fire is lit for sure. We just need to let it build up a little bit. I'm just continuing adding some very small wood here. Okay, I think I got a good base there now. I'm gonna let that go. Put in a couple of little bigger pieces, but still some very, very dry wood. Okay, I'll close the door and let that go. Now there's a blower on the back of the stove, so I'm going to reach back and turn on the blower. Okay, I'll bring you back in a few minutes when the fire is built up a little bit and we put in some of that larger wood. Okay, there is a fine base, a fine fire going there now, folks, in this Pacific Energy wood stove. I'm going to add a little bit more of this old project wood left over from various jobs and projects that I did here at the old church. So some short ends of 2x4, some short ends of 1x6 and all that kind of stuff. So this will form a really, really nice base of hot coals, hot cinders, for that larger wood that we're going to put in shortly. So like I said, a nice base there now, but let's build it up a little bit more. And then when we come back, we're going to put in some of that larger black spruce. What a lovely looking fire there this morning, folks, in this Pacific Energy wood stove on this TGIF Friday morning here at GBL, the old church 5-acre homestead. I'm going to go back and get my poker. I have a collection of pokers back here, and I do believe this is the one that I want. This one right here. I'm just going to level off that fire a little bit there now, folks, with this poker. So let me do that. As I said, it's got a nice base there now of that dry wood, so there's lots of nice hot cinders and coals there. Time to put in some of those larger chunks of black spruce. So let me put that back. I have one there that I splitted yesterday using the Yardworks splitter. Okay, so put that one in there now, Mr. Garry. And these are all pretty dry. I filled them and lifted them. They're fairly light. So get a few of those in there. And it won't take very long. This old church will be warming up. Okay, so nice there now. I'll just put in one more. There we go. Move that one to the side there, Mr. Garry. You don't want to fill it too full, and you want to hear the circulate around the wood and around the coals. A beautiful, beautiful fire here this morning, on this Friday morning. Very cold Friday morning, 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So folks, time to say goodbye. Time for Mr. Garry now to sign out. But I want to thank you very much for tuning in to our most recent TGIF Friday video. Got a lovely, lovely fire going there now. I'm going to enjoy my morning Java, my morning coffee. And I'm going to say goodbye to you and say thanks always for tuning in to our YouTube videos. We appreciate all the likes. We appreciate all the shares. We appreciate all the comments. And of course, if you are a regular full-time visitor to our channel, thank you ever so much for tuning in. And if you are new, welcome aboard. Welcome to the old church. Yes, indeed. Miss Betty and I, we do live in an old church. You take care. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll see you very, very soon. Mr. Garry, signing out. Very nice fire indeed. That black spruce is burning very, very well, don't you think? I'm sure we'll burn the rest of that today, and I'll probably have to go and fill it up again.